All right, we are here with head coach Clay Baker of the Henderson Lions. Coach, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit about last year. A 2-8 overall record, 1-5 in district. You had three losses that were by one possession, averaged over 27 points a game. So, what would you say attributed to that 2-8 record? And just give me your thoughts on last year.
Yeah, we figured there'd be a little bit of growing pains with a brand new staff coming in, getting to know the kids. The kids getting to know us, also developing relationships with the kids and all those things. And we didn't get our staff complete until pretty late in the summer. We had a lot of spots to fill, so that was big for us. I feel like we were really really close last year. Um, like you said, we had a lot of very close games within a touchdown against some real quality opponents. We just we knew as far as install and scheme and things like that it was going to take a while to where we weren't quite ready to do some of the things that we would like to do. Our big thing last year is we just wanted to get the kids used to the expectations of what we wanted. We wanted to get the kids used to competing the way we wanted them to compete, get them used to the effort that we want to see, and all those sorts of things, which I feel like we took a step in the right direction doing those things.
And with now having a whole nother year, and like you said, now the coaching staff having a whole other year to get with the kids, have you noticed some growth and development from last year when you got here to now?
Yeah, absolutely. It's night and day right now from this time to where it was compared last year. With the relationships with the kids, we know the kids a lot better. We're not wondering who needs to play what and trying to put that puzzle together. We've got a really, really good idea on that, at least for our main guys. We've got a good idea on who needs to be where. We got a better relationship with those guys. That way they can trust us. They've went through a few coaches. You got to develop that trust with those guys and let them know that we do have the best interests for them. And so we can coach them a little bit better now, and they can take that coaching a little bit better now. And it was big just having more coaches in the building. We were able to do some spring football where that wasn't the case in the previous year. We didn't have enough coaches in place at that time. So we were able to do some spring football a few days a week before we got out of school. We've been able to do a whole lot more football throughout this summer where we didn't even really have enough coaches in place to do that this past year. So, I think not only scheme and install wise are we night and day compared where we were at, but also just that effort from the kids and that relationship with the kids and those sort of things. I think we're a lot ahead right now than where we were at this time last year.
Well, each year or every 2 years, we get this district realignment, and
Yeah.
not much of a different district for y'all this year. Dropped out Jacksonville and Athens, and then added Pine Tree and Maybank in there.
Yeah.
But
Picked up a 5A playoff team. So
yes, yes,
yeah.
and added to the Chapel Hills and the Kilgores and
Yeah.
Lindells that are already in there. This district, we've called it over here the District of Doom. It is top to bottom one of the toughest districts in the state of Texas. What is your thoughts on the district?
Yeah, it's an extremely tough district. It's hard to go through a rebuild and to try to get some stuff positive going on here when you're playing guys who are competing for regional and state championships year in and year out. It's hard to explain to those guys or to our guys that we are going in the right direction and we do have things going the right way. When they don't see the results, they won't necessarily on the scoreboard. But yeah, the competition there is not an easy Friday. There's no weekends around here where we get to relax a little bit and take a guy easy. I think we're going to have several very good football teams that aren't in the playoffs this year, who, in my opinion, would make the playoffs in just about any other district in the state of Texas. So there's some very good football in East Texas, especially in our classification. So it's a good and a bad. You want to see some of the best competition. You want to get out and you want to compete. But we're also trying to build a program and trying to get our kids used to winning and building that momentum. And it's tough to do going against these guys, but it is who it is. You got who you got, so we're going to play the schedule that we got.
Well, and as a coach, when you know how tough your district is, what is your mindset when you schedule those non-district games? Do you try to up the competition to prepare for district, or do you try to maybe lesser opponents to kind of get some momentum going into district? What's the mindset in that?
Yeah, it's a little bit of both. You've got to be prepared because once district starts, you're playing against some of the better teams in the state. But you also do, like you said, you want to try to get some momentum going and some some positive momentum going around here. So you want to schedule some teams that you think you can compete with. Our big deal is we want to play against teams that we think is going to be good competition for us, teams that we think are going to prepare us scheme wise and physically wise for what we're going to face in district. But with that being said, also teams that we think, like I said, that we can compete with, that should give us good matchups. So that's what we try to do. It's always tough with realignment, trying to find games too, though, where you don't never know exactly who's going to be in your district and who's not, and all that good stuff. So, most of our games we got scheduled were set, but we had to scramble a little bit the day of realignment also.
That's usually how it works. Well, one last thing I want to ask you before I let you get out of here, and we've kind of talked about it through all these questions, but what are your expectations for this year? You got 4 starters coming back on offense, 7 on defense. What are your expectations and your thoughts on this upcoming season?
Yeah, we're excited about it. Like I said, I think we're night and day right now compared to where we were last year as a staff and with the kids. As a staff, just because our guys, we know each other better right now as a staff, as a coaching staff, which means we're going to communicate better. We're going to work better together, just like we feel like our kids are. As far as expectations on the field, I mean, we expect to go out and compete every Friday night. Our big deal is that we want to get the standard around here and the expectations around here to what it was previously when you played Henderson. We feel like there was in the past, whenever you would play Henderson, whether a Henderson bus pulled up or whether you pulled up to a Henderson stadium, regardless of the talent that level, there was a respect and there was a feeling with them other teams where you knew you were going to have to bring your best game because Henderson was going to compete and they had kids that were going to put on the field that were going to get after you. And that's what we want to get back to, regardless of what the outcome on the scoreboard is, which usually it'll take care of itself. But we just want to be known as we got a group that we're going to put on the field. It's got a plan. They're prepared. They're going to get after you, and they're going to compete for 48 minutes.
Well, Coach Baker, I appreciate you taking the time and talking to me today. And best of luck to the Lions this season. I'm sure we'll talk to you down the road.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you guys.
All right. Thank you.